we are on our way to another hiking adventure, this time in Maine. We're going to be doing the Grafton Loop Trail. So we're here at the Grafton Notch Trailhead parking area. It's a nice big one, which is good because there's a lot of people here. First thing to make note of is I realized during the drive that I had forgotten my hat at home. So I managed to pick up the lovely little piece of apparel I'm now wearing in Bethel. So that'll be my hat for the trip. It doesn't offer as much protection as my regular hiking hat, but, well, it's better than no hat at all. We're going to look at the map now. And hopefully the lighting here isn't too bad. That looks okay. So we are up here. One of the two places that the Grafton Loop Trail crosses Route 26 here in Grafton Notch, and we're going to hop on the AT and take the AT south up to the summit of Old Spec. Actually, we'll be leaving the AT before we get to the summit of Old Spec. After that, the trail goes on this way. We're going to try to make it over Sunday River Whitecap and stay the night at Sergeant Brook. We'll pull out mileages on that in a bit. Tomorrow it's down to Route 26, short road walk, and then up Puzzle Mountain to Stewart Campsite, where the water is supposed to be somewhat spotty, and then up to Long Mountain and past a couple more campsites, one of which my information is closed, and stay at the last of the campsites, East Baldpate. And the last day up over the Baldpates, rejoining the AT here, past Baldpate Lean-To, and back here to this parking area. So that's the overall itinerary. So it's 9:30 and we've just started walking. It took us about 20 minutes to get packed up and gaiters put on and shoes tightened and this and that. Message sent home using a Delorme InReach. And we're here at the first junction, which is just a few feet in. It's one of two intersections with the Eyebrow Trail. It splits off, heads off that way. Takes a longer route. Now, I've never been on it, but one of these days I'll take the Eyebrow Trail. We're going to stick to the AT for now, up towards the summit of Old Spec. So the second point where the AT has a junction with the Eyebrow Trail is about a mile up, and that should take us about an hour to get to, according to the book. So we've reached the upper junction with the Eyebrow Trail. just a couple minutes behind schedule, which is a little surprising because I took, I think, close to 15 minutes to put my contact lenses in and do a little other pack rearranging chores. So I expected to be later than this. The trail description here to the summit is a little confused. It's about 2.5 miles and should take us about 2 hours, but I can't be real precise about that. So the time now is 10:30, 10:35. So let's see. We should expect to be there at 12:30, something like that, maybe 1:45. Temperatures in the mid-80s, and so I am perspiring freely. But other than that, I seem to be in good shape and doing pretty well. It's a beautiful day, hardly a cloud in the sky. Well, there's one. Oh well. Well, it's a good day to be hiking. See you at the top. It's about 10 minutes after 12, and we have reached the junction of, well, it's kind of confusing. The sign kind of implies that the Appalachian Trail used to go right and left here, but actually, I just came up the Appalachian Trail, and it's behind me there. So that way is definitely the AT. That way is the way to the summit, which maybe the AT used to cross. I don't know, but that's the way we're going. We're not confused about that. So we're going to the summit of Old Speck Mountain, and according to the sign, the Grafton Loop Trail starts there. But since we're leaving the AT, I'm going to say the Grafton Loop Trail starts here. That's picking nits. Anyway, another 0.3 of a mile to the actual summit of Old Speck and the observation platform and views, and we'll take a break. Well, we're at the summit, and here's the tower for the observation platform. And it's taller than I thought it was, and it's got that ladder that goes straight up. Well, can't really see anything from the summit without going up there. So we'll give it a shot. Hang on tight. Well, I did not enjoy coming up that at all. But I guess I'll have to say that it's worth it. Let's see. So, that'd be the bald pates, or one of the bald pates. We'll find out more about that later. So, I'm not sure what else. Down there in the valley, of course, is Route 26. And I'm guessing that's Sunday River Whitecap, which we'll be going over later today. And there's Sunday River Ski Area, if any of this is coming out. And then there's the Whites. And I can't name anything over there, but one would have to guess that the one that seems the tallest is Mount Washington, which certainly ought to be visible from here. This is probably known as Mahoosuc Arm, and be Mahoosuc Notch down in here closer. And is that Speck Pond? I don't know. And a lot of nothing to the north. Big lake. More Route 26. Some more lakes in the fuzzy distance. So I am unexpectedly at the Bull Run campsite. It is on the map that I have, which came from, I'm pretty sure it came from a website run by the Maine Appalachian Trail Club. But it wasn't in any of the trail descriptions, so I assumed it was it was no longer here, you know, that it had been abandoned or something. But it is here. It's got 2 tent platforms, good sized ones. And a bear box and a privy, and a stream I took a still of coming in that has plenty of water in it now, so it's probably a good, solid, dependable water source most years. Tent platform 2 did not have any trees that would allow you to use it in conjunction with a hammock, but here at tent platform 1 we have a tree just at the edge there that's good for a hammock and tarp. And we got this one also very close to the edge, and that's about 4 to 5 inches in diameter. So obviously it's smaller than you would really like, but it could be made to work. And you know, there's probably some other trees here that could be made to work as well, although the trees in the area are on the small side. Anyway, I just wanted to report that this was here, and now I'll be a little late, but it's just a couple minutes off the main trail, and when I get back, it'll be another 1.1 miles to get to Slide Mountain campsite, so we'll see what that's about. So it's a little bit after 2 when we were at the Slide Mountain campsite. I've just spent a little time exploring. And there's a privy here and a bear box again. There are no tent platforms. There are 3 tent pads. They look pretty good as tent pads. So this is, according to the barely legible sign, the designated cooking area right here next to the bear box. And people have had fires there. Not a lot appealing. Up that way is just a short distance. Tent site number 1. Can't really set up a hammock on it. You could set up a hammock near it, probably. And then there's this other path that's to the right as you're coming in from the main trail. And there are 2 tent sites down there, either of which could be made to work with a hammock. So I took a still coming in of the water source, which is certainly running enough now. I wouldn't depend on it in dry weather, though. It's nowhere near the flow that the Bull Run one does. So it's 4.2 to Sergeant Brook tent site. We're gonna hope there's good water there. I always like it if the name of a camping area, shelter, tent site, whatever, has words like brook, stream, river. Those are encouraging words. And well, it doesn't say here, but first we have to go over Sunday River Whitecap. That's about 3.3 miles, and it'll take us about 2 hours and 20 minutes to get to the summit of that. It's 2:15 now, so we're looking for 4:35. somewhere in there to the summit, and then less than a mile onto the campsite, which we'll enjoy. I'm guessing from the number of spider webs I'm breaking as I walk down the trail that there's no one directly ahead of me on this trail. I didn't know how heavily the trail was used, and apparently it's not very. Certainly it's, doesn't have the traffic like the AT. I passed, probably close to a dozen thru hikers climbing up Old Spec. So I was climbing, they were descending. So they were thick. All right, well, can't get there unless we start walking. So, a short time ago, I took a little break and decided to check my water reservoir and see how much water I had left. And it turned out the answer was virtually none. Now, I could have chosen to tank up back at Slide Mountain, but did I do that? No. So I was facing the prospect of hiking a couple hours with little or no water. Fortunately, here I passed a small stream. I was able to scoop some water out of it. And filled up my Sea to Summit dry bag reservoir and set up my filtration system. And now we're filtering a bag of water, which should get us there with no problem at all. We are on the summit of Sunday River Whitecap, and we're beat. Well, I can't hold the camera up. It's about 4:40. So, given that we stopped for water, that's about when we should be here. Weather hasn't changed much. There's a little bit of a breeze here, which I'm appreciating. Well, let's see if I can stir myself. Keeping my fingers out of the lens. Over there is the Sunday River ski area. And again, White Mountains in the haze, looking kind of west, swinging more to the north. We got, what is the name of that? We just went over it. Well, I'll put the name up. Well, you can't see it from here. Down there is Grafton Notch and Route 26. So over there, although, well, we're getting a little bit of the balds, but that's the two bald pates there. I'm guessing that's Puzzle Mountain there. Yeah, it couldn't be, way over there. So, which makes that long mountain in between, I think, where we'll be day after tomorrow. So I kind of missed these from up on top of the mountain whose name I've forgotten. We got a whole row of giant wind generators over there, which don't bother me. So we don't have a sign up here, just this lonely post. All right, I'm going to rest some more, and then we'll get on down towards the campsite. So at about 20 after 5, we come to the side trail to the Sergeant Brook campsite. According to the trail guide, it's about a 5-minute walk down. So we'll walk down. The 3 biggest lies in the world. The check is in the mail. One size fits all. And all you need to set up a hammock camp is 2 trees. Right. So, Sergeant Brook campsite has 4 tent pads. None of them have trees arranged in such a way that you can suspend the hammock over the tent pad. And most of them don't have trees that are usable at all. The surrounding terrain is way too heavily overgrown to look like there's likely stealth sites out there. So this is tent site number 1 that we're in here. Main trail is just up there. Not a bad looking tent pad, I guess. Reasonably flat, reasonably free of roots and such, but here off to the side are 2 trees on this slope down to oblivion, and this is the best I've been able to find. So we're gonna hang here. The trees are just about the minimum distance apart. And if I fall, my head probably won't actually hit that rock. Alright, better keep getting set up here. So we're taking advantage of the nice level surface of the bear box to serve as our camp kitchen counter. So that's pretty convenient. I didn't bring the Bush Buddy with me this time. Can't always be consistent. So what we've got is that same Mini Bull Design M7 stove on a pot stand, with a pot stand, cooking away. And what it's cooking is Hawk Vittles beef stew. So we're going to compare it with our own beef stew, which we'll have, well, tomorrow or the next day. So we're waiting for that to heat up, and then we'll put it in the koozie and let it set for a while. Today was our longest day, actually, which doesn't work out because it's also the day we got the latest start. It was 11.1. Which was enough for me. 2 pretty good ascents, Old Spec, that's the name of the mountain, I couldn't remember. Old Spec and Sunday River Whitecap. Don't know how many feet we went up, but it was enough. Old Spec is over 4,000. So, all right. Well, it's later than I'd like. It's 6:45. We have the headlamp with us just in case it starts to get dim. I'm not sure exactly when that will be, but that's why we're eating dinner now. Get it out of the way, and then we'll somehow get settled into that less than perfect hammock site. But that's the beauty of the hammock, is once you do get it hung and you're in it, it doesn't matter. It's always the same. So hopefully we'll have a good night. So good night.